All right, here we go. Let's get this set up. All right. Oh, nope, it's falling over. That's all right. This will give me time to get comfortable with what I'm gonna talk about now. Right. All right. Are we here? All right. I'm gonna wait a minute. See if anybody joins in here. All right. Kind of dreading this, to be honest with you. I put it up yesterday. I thought it'd be a good idea. I thought it'd be fun, and then I realized that probably a dumb idea. So let me start with this. Thanks for watching. I won't be able to respond to comments as they happen because if I start reading comments and going back and forth, then I'll lose focus, and then it'll be a mess. As always, I'm just going to give my thoughts, and that's it. If you've been watching these, you know that I just kind of ramble about nothing. So let me start here. I'm gonna rank all of Def Leppard's and Bon Jovi's albums the way that I like them. Now, listen, I'm one moron. My opinion means nothing because there's no possible way that I can do this that's gonna make everybody happy. Think about it. I mean, there's no way. There's no one way that everybody sees these bands. They're very divisive. So I'm giving my opinion, and there's several of you that are gonna be unhappy with me, but it's just my opinion. Just don't pay attention, okay? So I'm going to give a little background before I start talking about them, just because I can't help myself. Also, I did these bands together because I find a similarity between these two bands. They both had their third and fourth records were huge, or would put them on the map. And there's other similarities that I don't want to talk about right now, but I'll get to it. But these bands are very, very similar to me. So we're going to start with Def Leppard. Def Leppard, I'm going to give my little take and then I'll go for it, okay? But I want you to know that some of my decisions are emotional because of where I was in my life when these records found me. So, like everybody else, Pyromania was out when I was a kid. I had a buddy, Matt Herbert, who loved it, really turned me on to it. And then Hysteria came out and was absolutely everywhere. So that took over the world. And then when I was 16, Adrenalize came out. And I was like in love with this girl in high school who loved Def Leppard. She was obsessed with Rick Savage. So I used to write her name and her last name Savage, and it's stupid. But on the day that it came out, I actually had a buddy of mine go get it from the record store, bring it to me at the high school, so I could give it to her so I could give her Adrenalize on the day it came out before she had a chance to get it herself. Throughout the years, I'm a huge Def Leppard fan. If you know anything about my recordings, I try to get the Def Leppard sound with the vocals, because that's what I want to emulate. And Mutt Lange, one of the greatest producers and songwriters of all time. Right? Right. Okay. So I adore Def Leppard. I know you just want to get to it. Shut up, Jason. I just want to get to it so I can hate you. I know. Oh, all right. I mentioned I love them, right? Don't get mad. All right, let's do these real quick. I'm going to do the things that are not studio albums just to show that I have them, and then we'll move on from it. So here's the few things they put out that were not studio records, so they don't count to me. Yeah, the collection of covers. I don't understand why bands are doing covers albums. Do they sell? They must sell. Otherwise, why would everybody do them? And I get enjoying the stuff you grew up with and wanting to share it with your fans, but I only bought this because it was $1, and I bought it in Kansas City, and I got it as a memento of being in Kansas City. It was $1, so I bought it. I have no interest in covers records, though, so and then Vault, the Greatest Hits, which has just a beautiful song, When Love and Hate Collide. Isn't When Love and Hate Collide a beautiful, gorgeous song? It's just so, it reeks of Def Leppard. I had a buddy of mine, Joe Kohler. I'm going to talk a lot. There's going to be a lot of anecdotes, and I'm sorry, but these bands are incredibly important to me. Buddy of mine, Joe Kohler, I was at his bachelor party, and that song came on. He said, this song always made me think of something you would write. And I was like, oh yeah, When Love and Hate Collide. Yeah. All right. And then Retroactive, which isn't a studio record. I didn't know this wasn't a studio record for like 2 years. I don't know how or why it missed me, but I didn't know this wasn't a studio record. It's just a collection of B-sides and stuff that didn't make records. But I tell you what, this Retroactive is better than half of their studio records. Yeah, it is. So there you go. I love what's that song, From the Inside? You ever heard From the Inside, which is a song written from the point of view of a drug to the it doesn't sound like Def Leppard at all, but I really like From the Inside. It's a great song that you wouldn't expect. So there you go. These are the, I'm sure they have other stuff, but these are the three I have that are not full-on studio records. Oh, I don't want to do this. All right. By my count, Def Leppard has 10 studio records. Is that right? They have 10, right? If I'm missing something, I'd be surprised, but tell me. So here we go. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and keep in mind that I love the polished sound. I like the big production, the big polished sounds of all my music. I really gravitate toward that than anything else. So, here we go. Number 10. Self-titled from this year. I like it, but I don't love it, and it might just be because I haven't had time for it to get inside me, but most of it I really wanted to like, and I did like the song Dangerous. Dangerous felt very much like old school Def Leppard. But most of it, I just kind of, over time, I would kind of weed out the songs, and it didn't resonate with me too much. But I'm grateful they're still making music. So I'm happy about that. Maybe it's just because it's new, but it didn't move me. So there you go. There's number 10. This is a bad idea, everybody. Number 9. On Through the Night. This was their debut, right? I like Rock Brigade. I love Hello America. I love, what's that song? It Could Be You. But most of this left me, you know, it's just, it's jam band. It's more guitar rock. It's a little more raw. Nothing wrong with that. And just like I said yesterday when we were talking about Toto, just because these albums are low on the list doesn't mean they're bad albums. It means the band put out a consistent amount of great material. So even the stuff low on the list is still good. So, there you go. That's my 9. Those of you, by the way, who just were like, oh crap, you're not going to like the rest of this. I'm sorry. Number 8. Songs from the Fargo Lounge. I didn't hate this. There were some really good moments on here. I don't know why on earth Tim McGraw was on here. Tim McGraw is a whole other discussion that I'm not going to get into. The fact that man has a career angers me so badly. Let's move on. But Go I liked. 9 Lives was, despite Tim McGraw, was good. I really liked the song Tomorrow. Tomorrow was good. I like Bad Actress. Gotta Let It Go. All good stuff. So, again, not a bad record, just they had better stuff. So number 8, Songs from the Fargo Lounge. And now, I'm going to, here comes the first of you guys getting really upset with me. Some of you. Number 7, I'm standing by this, and I'm sorry. I know my rock friends are going to be mad. Number 7, High and Dry. Yep, that's right. I'm sorry about that. I know that there's hardcore Def Leppard fans, and this is their favorite Def Leppard record. I don't hate it, but I like the more polished, big sound, and to me, the other stuff resonated with me better. I love, of course, Bring On the Heartbreak. I love Lady Strange. I love No, No, No. I love Mirror, Mirror. Mirror, Mirror is friggin' cool, man. That's kind of it, though, for me. I couldn't get into this as much as I know a lot of you have, and I don't mean to disrespect. I can't help it. I want to love everything, and I know a lot of you are not happy with me, but that's how it is. I can't help it. I feel the way I feel. We like what we like. I can't make you guys love the Indigo Girls. You can't make me love High and Dry. I like it. I don't love it. There's the first of you guys just being like, Jason's an idiot. Can't help it. That being said, great stuff on here. Half of this record is really good, and half of it I didn't really care for. So I'm sorry. And again, not bad. Just I like some other stuff better. And then, so there we go. Number 7, for me, High and Dry. Can't help it. Number 6, and every one of you that loves High and Dry will hate me for this, the fact that this is higher. It's only one notch higher, but it is higher. I enjoyed X. I thought X was good. There was some crap on here, and there was some really good stuff on here. I love Long Way to Go, Every Day, Unbelievable Now. The song Scar is awesome. I guess I'm more of a pop guy then, am I? Boy, maybe that's true. But I thought there was some really good stuff on here. If you were a fan of Def Leppard, of the more radio-friendly songs, you didn't get X, I would at least look into it. I know some people had a problem because they had some outside songwriters on here, but it's a good album. It's a good album. I don't care. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I certainly liked it. There were definitely elements on here of the stuff that I really like. So I know X gets a lot of flack, but I don't think it deserves it. So number 6 for me is X. Now, listen, again, one of the greatest rock and roll bands ever. So even the top 5 are still all going to be great records. So just because this is 5 doesn't mean it's bad. I really like Slang. I thought Slang was good. I never understood why, well, no, I did understand it. I understood why people were kind of taken aback. There is a whiplash effect, but it's good. It's not great, but it's good. The song Truth is great, Turn to Dust, Slang, All I Want Is Everything is a good song. I always loved Blood Runs Cold and Breathe a Sigh. Doesn't sound like Def Leppard at all, but Blood Runs Cold and Breathe a Sigh were very, I just like them. And Where Does Love Go When It Dies? That's a cool song. I mean, completely different. If you're a fan of Def Leppard and never heard that Slang, it's not what you think, but there's really good, solid stuff on here. I actually have the, I got to get the remasters of some of these because I don't have them. I should have them. But Slang isn't for everybody. But if you can kind of look past the, that it's not overly polished production, there's some good stuff on here, and it's a band doing what they're doing. So I like Slang. That's all I'm gonna say. I saw them a few years ago. They played the song Slang, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, it's a good record. It's different, but I like it. There you go. Those of you that are hardcore Def Leppard fans have already done the math and realized the top 4 that are left and know that they're all very polished and sugary, but that's what I like. All right, number 4. Euphoria. I enjoyed Euphoria quite a bit. They came back from Slang and made Euphoria. I saw an interview with them when Joe Elliott said in the 90s they knew that they were doomed because all the lyrical stuff was so dark. And they're not about being dark. And he said he heard, him and the band heard Sugar Ray. And all of a sudden, music was about being happy again. So they thought, okay, we can go back to doing what we do best. And that's why they made this. And it's a little bit overcompensation. But listen to the song Promises. Like, that was the single that they put out. They intentionally made the song Promises to sound like the old Def Leppard. But it's gorgeous. It's such a great song. It's perfect. It's perfect textbook Def Leppard. It's exactly what I wanted them to do. So Promises is a great song. Demolition Man is a great song. Back in Your Face. Goodbye is a really good ballad. Goodbye. I'm pretty sure Rick Savage wrote that alone, right? Goodbyes. The vocals on that, to this day, I'm telling you, I'm still trying to get that Def Leppard vocal sound with the 7-part harmony and the growl and Goodbye is awesome. All Night's good. Paper Sun is good. Sha-La-La-La Girl is silly but good. To Be Alive is good. Disintegrate, Kings of Oblivion. This is a really good record. I know there's fans that kind of are like, oh, it's kind of disposable. I liked it. I thought it was great. I actually have the ticket stuff from when I went and saw them on this tour in there. I like to do that. So there you go. Number 3, Euphoria. No, excuse me. Number 4. I'm sorry. Number 4, Euphoria. Number 3. Here's another one that everybody dismisses, but I thought it was great. And this might be a more emotional decision than anything. But Adrenalize, I loved it. I was 16. It came out. I was like, yeah, Def Leppard being Def Leppard. Let's Get Rocked is a little goofy. But again, I was 16 years old, and this was the Def Leppard record that came out for me in my teenage years. So this is the one that I listened to over and over and over again. And it's them being them. And I don't love every song. I don't like the last 2. Oh, no, I don't like the last one. Tear It Down, I don't really like. But Stand Up, Kick Love, and Emotion is so good. Stand Up, Kick Love, and Emotion. I love that song. To this day, I wish I could write something just like I love that song. I don't like White Lightning, but Heaven Is, Make Love Like a Man, Tonight, Personal Property. Have you ever... Oh, yeah, right. The girl that I had a huge crush on in high school. She loved Def Leppard, and then this record came out. And the song, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? And of course, I'm just like, oh my God, like her favorite band wrote a song about the way I feel. It was, oh yeah, I listen to that song over and over and over and over again. Still love it. Still love this. So Adrenalize, this is a good record. I love the sound. Like I said, I like the sugary, poppy Def Leppard. And for me, it might be an emotional thing for me, but that's number 3 for me. There you go. All right, we got 2 left, and you know what they are. And I'm going to be honest with you. This was a toss-up. It was a complete toss-up. So don't be upset if yours isn't, if the one you want isn't first, because it really goes back and forth. And I'm sure in 6 months I might change my mind. But I had to do it. So you can, when I say number 2, you're going to know what number 1 is. Most of you, right? Number 2, and it's hard to say this, because I love it. Pyromania, number 2. It's groundbreaking, and I understand that. And it broke them into the world, and the production on this and the songwriting. It's a great, listen, it's number 2. I love it. I love this record. The only thing that held me back is I don't care for Action Not Words, and I don't care for Coming Under Fire. But the first 7 songs and the last one are brilliant. Brilliant. It just had a couple songs that I'm just like, actually, Rock Rock Till You Drop Like is okay. I don't get a lot out of songs about rock and roll. I think I have a problem with songs about songs, if that makes sense. Not all of them. I mean, I like some, but that one I didn't like. But I love Stage Fright. Stage Fright, I adore the song Stage Fright. I don't know why. I always love Stage Fright. Stage Fright, oh, so good. Photograph, of course, is amazing. Too Late for Love. I love that song. Everything about that song, the production, the lyrics are so kind of creepy and haunting and weird, but it's awesome. Foolin' is wonderful. Lady Luck never smiles, so love it. So I love this record. If you don't have this, listen, if you don't have this, you got to get it. This can't be expensive anymore, right? It's got to be on Amazon, $5. This is classic. This is groundbreaking. It's one of the best records of its time, and it spawned 100 other bands trying to make this same record. So Pyromania, number 2, which of course leaves us with number 1. Sorry to be like everybody else and be so predictable, but there you go. Hysteria. Perfect, right? Well, not perfect. I'm sorry. No, it's not perfect because I don't really like Excitable and Don't Shoot Shotgun, but I like the rest. But there you go. Pyromania. Excuse me. Hysteria. If you know anything by Def Leppard, you probably know this. Pour Some Sugar on Me is on here. I love the song Women. I think Women is a great song. What a great opener. It's a great, and then like the production of it and the vocals, and then the end, there's a whole other part that didn't exist in the beginning of the song. And those of you that don't know, this record was made between this and 83 and this is 87. The drummer lost his arm. You guys know that? Some of you don't know that, I bet you. So one-arm drummer on this, and they had to figure that out, and record took like 3 years to make. Love Bites, great song. Animal, they're all on here. I never really care for Armageddon It too much, which I know is weird, but so be it. I love Run Riot, but Hysteria, very atmospheric. Hysteria is just driving around, man, listening to Def Leppard. It's Hysteria. I want to know tonight if you're alone tonight. Love it. So there you go. Hysteria is my number 1. That is my Def Leppard countdown ranking. I hope it didn't upset any of you. I know High and Dry being so low upsets some of you, and I can't help it. I'm sorry. I just don't. I know there's a big faction of you also that feel that way. So I mean no disrespect. It's just how it is. Can't do anything about it. So there you go. All right, let's move on because I've already been talking for 15 minutes, and I'm probably gonna have more to say about Bon Jovi. So Bon Jovi, oh God, how would I do this? I adore Bon Jovi, okay? When Slippery and Wet came out, I listened to that record, I can't tell how many times. I listened to tape. I had a little drum machine, and I would play through Never Say Goodbye in my head, playing drums to it. I don't know why that song. I adore Bon Jovi. I really connected with the music like a lot of you did when I was a kid. It meant a lot to me, and again, I've been trying to reproduce that kind of thing in my writing, and I love them. They spoke a lot to me, and they were there for me in my life, like my musical life all the way through. So they're very, very dear to me. That's why I am so emotional about this, and I get so excited about this, and I take it very seriously. So I'm going to have different opinions about Bon Jovi than some of you. Please don't be upset with me, and I am going to get a little bit worked up just because I care so much, because I feel so deeply, because it's one of those bands that was really a part of me. So I take it seriously, so I do. So please don't be mad at me, okay? I'm just stating how I feel and what I think. Right, shut up, Jason, move on, because I know I'm going to offend some of you. I actually had to block 2 people on this because I knew by talking to them before, they get overly upset with me, like I'm attacking them personally because I don't like some of the stuff. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like it. I want to like it. Here we go. Let me show you the Bon Jovi stuff that is not a studio record. So, the greatest hits, Crossroads, which is great. Love it. I really love the song Someday I'll Be Saturday Night. And then Always was on here. Always, which broke me up, right? 94, I was 19. Always. Oh, that's a great song. How do you sing so high? Screw John Bon Jovi. And then This Left Feels Right, which is a covers record of themselves, where they re-recorded their own songs in a different way. They have every right to do it. They're Bon Jovi, which is something that I think they feel. I don't get anything out of that. I didn't get it, but that's for the true fans. That's just me. Didn't like it. This I bought at Target, which had a bunch of like unreleased stuff on it. Lucky, Breathe, No Regrets. It's like 6 songs on here that aren't on any of the records. And I just like, wow, I'll get that because I'm a hardcore Bon Jovi fan. I'm going to love anything. I'm going to buy anything Bon Jovi does. I remember thinking at the time that even if this isn't good, Bon Jovi has meant so much to me that I'll buy anything they make out of loyalty for this band that's meant so much to me. I'll just buy it. I don't care what it is. So that's a Target thing. Is that even valuable? Does anybody know? I don't know. There you go. And then I have the Always single because it had because it had Please Come Home for Christmas on it. So there's that. And then I have this. This is awesome, by the way. Anybody got this? 100 million Bon Jovi fans can't be wrong. This is a 5-disc set of unreleased songs. And I'll tell you what, there's at least two solid albums of songs. There's some great stuff on here. If you're a Bon Jovi fan, you love them, especially the classic stuff and the 90s stuff, and you don't have this, it's got to be on Amazon now for cheap. There's like 50 songs on here, and 25 of them are excellent. I'm going to ramble a little bit. I'm sorry. I know you want to get to the ranking to judge me, but I don't care. I'm only going to get to talk about this now. I always love Miss 4th of July. And then the song Last Man Standing was on here, which I adored before they did it on Lost Highway. But Radio Saved My Life Tonight, Why Aren't You Dead? There's 25 great songs on here. So if you don't have this, you should get this. I always love Last Chance Train. There's like demos. There's this really interesting, great stuff on here. So try to find it. It's really, you comb through this, there's great songs on here. So I'm just trying to show how much of a Bon Jovi fan I am before we get to the ranking. So here we go. Please forgive me. They have 14 studio records, as far as I know. 14, which is tremendous. And let me also say that I respect the crap out of Bon Jovi for remaining relevant and like wading through the seeds of pop culture and still being somebody. Like their last record they just put out was #1. Of course it was. It does, because they've maneuvered through pop culture being an 80s hair band with that cheeseball face and managed to do it. So I respect the crap out of that. You can't not. But it doesn't mean I have to like everything. So, here we go. 14 studio records. Number 14. Burning Bridges. I don't have this record because this came out once I gave up on Bon Jovi. So I don't know anything about it. All I know is that they don't like it themselves. They just threw it out there to satisfy a record deal they had. They were contractually obligated to make another record, so they threw this out. Don't know anything about it. I can't judge it because I haven't heard it. I'm sorry, but it'll become clear later. 14, Burning Bridges. 13, This House Is Not For Sale. Not going to buy this. I haven't heard it, so I can't judge it. So I'm going to put it on the bottom just because I haven't heard it, and that's how it's going to be. And I'm sorry. I know some of you are already mad at me, but I can't help it. But as things move on, it'll become clear. So there you go. Number 13, This House Is Not For Sale. Number 12, What About This? What About Now? Excuse me, What About Now? I did listen to this record when this came out a few years ago, but this is the first and only time that I have ever listened to a record on Spotify to audition it to see if it was worth my money. And I had a theory about how it was going to sound, and I didn't want to be right, but I was right. I listened to this record 10 times, couldn't remember one song on it, didn't care, just went, okay, glad I didn't waste my money on buying that. And you might notice that I just said earlier that I'll buy anything they do out of loyalty to them. So what changed? There, What About Now, which they could have, they should have titled. In my mind, I always thought they should have titled, We Can Put Out Anything We Want and You'll Buy It Because We're Bon Jovi. There you go. Number 11, The Circle. I had The Circle. I owned it. And I gave it away because I didn't want it to sit on my shelves anymore and infect any other records I had sitting next to it. I have a review on Amazon that I typed out about The Circle. It's really long and it's really involved because this is where Bon Jovi broke my heart. I stuck with him, and I really actually liked and found good things about him. And then The Circle came out, and they were touting it as we're coming back to our rock roots. We're gonna go back to rocking. And they had just put out they had Have a Nice Day, and then they had just put out Lost Highway. And they're like, okay, they're gonna rock again. And I was incredibly excited. And so I got it and I listened to it, and just slowly, my heart just kind of opened up and went, oh no. Why do they sound like Coldplay? Why? What is this? What is with the production? How on earth did Desmond Child have anything to do with any of these songs? What is this? If I wanted to hear Coldplay, I would buy Coldplay, and I despise Coldplay. So I'm not trying to take anything away from the fact that a band wants to change and evolve, and they got to follow their muse, and I respect them for that. I do. They're doing I believe they're doing what they think they want to do, and every artist has every right to do that. I'm not saying they can't do what they want to do. I'm just saying, as a fan, I have the right to go, this is terrible for me. Terrible. There was one good song on this record called Live Before You Die, which I really did enjoy. Live Before You Die is a beautiful song. I have this theory that it was written during the Nashville sessions for Lost Highway because the structure of that song is very much like a Nashville song. Live Before You Die is a great song. Other than that, it broke my heart. This is where I gave up. This is where I gave up on Bon Jovi. They put The Circle out. I paid for it, the deluxe version with the DVD, and went, oh my God, what are you doing? And I gave up. And I can't do it anymore. I can't. And everything I've heard from them since, and I want to love it. I want to. Like 9-year-old and a 13-year-old and 15-year-old and 18-year-old and 23-year-old Jason is dying at what they've become, and it hurts me. But that's just my opinion. I'm sorry. So there you go. Number 11, The Circle. Now, some of you have been on my side up until now, right? And now some of you are going to turn on me hardcore. Remember when earlier I revealed that Def Leppard's High and Dry was number 7? Well, that's a record I know a lot of Def Leppard fans really adore, and they love it. And I don't understand why. I don't hate it, but I don't understand why they love it so much. Bon Jovi has a similar record that many Bon Jovi fans love and feel is their best. And I just sit there and go, what? Really? So you're all going to hate me here. And this was the one thing of everything I'm going to say where I was nervous you're going to turn on me. Please don't. It's just my opinion. Number 10. 700 degrees Fahrenheit. The same people that were upset with me about not enjoying High and Dry are the same people that are now upset about 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. I've noticed this over the years, and I can't explain it, but there's this faction of fans of both bands who love both those records. And it's, with very few exceptions, the same people who adore this one adore High and Dry. They're both the band's second record. To me, well, I like High and Dry more than this. But to me, they're a band right before they're going to find their footing. But they're not there yet. But people really love this record, and I don't understand why. And I've tried. I've gone back to a time. I've gone back and put this through my process at least 3 or 4 times to try to see what they're seeing because I want to love it. But I don't. It's just, John Bon Jovi doesn't like this record. He's been on record many times saying that it was average and rushed, and he's not proud of it. I don't understand it. In and Out of Love is a good song. Silent Night is a good song. And I don't understand any of the rest of this, why everybody loves this so much. And I'm not trying to be crappy to you. I just don't get it. That's just my opinion. But everything they've done, other than these 4 masterpieces, has been more solid, well-rounded, and better than this, to me. So forgive me. I don't like this. I don't like this record. I don't. It kept Bon Jovi. Here's what it did for me. In my world, this kept Bon Jovi alive long enough to make their third record. That's the purpose of this record for me. So forgive me for anybody that I just offended. It's just how I feel. Number 9. Once again, like I said earlier, one of the best bands ever. So even though these records are far down the list, it doesn't mean they're bad. They're still good. I like all the rest of these albums. I just had to rank them from better to great. Number 9, Crush. I'm glad they made Crush. It kept them relevant in 1999. I didn't really care for It's My Life. I still don't. But I like Say It Isn't So. Thank You for Loving Me was a little schmaltzy, but I can go with it. Mystery. Oh, no. Save the World is good. The best 2 songs on this record are the last 2. I Got the Girl and One Wild Night are awesome. One Wild Night was like, oh yeah, like na 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 na. I was like, oh yeah, it sounds like Bon Jovi again, you know, because the sound changed and they changed with the times, and I'm totally fine with that. But to me, it's very spotty and not very solid, but it's still okay. You know, there's some good songs in here. It's hit and miss. So number 9, Crush. Number 8, Bounce. Same thing as Crush for me. Half the songs are good. Half the songs don't do much for me. It's just spotty and kind of dark, but I love Every Day. The song Joey alone is just kind of puts it way down. I don't understand that song at all. But again, they're staying relevant. They're staying alive. They're still being active, so I was grateful for it. I like All About Loving You. Right Side of Wrong. If you know Right Side of Wrong and you don't know the song Meeting Across the River by Springsteen, look it up. Because Right Side of Wrong, I heard Right Side of Wrong first, and I liked it. It was all right, good story. And then years later, I heard Meeting Across the River by Springsteen. I went, oh, this is that Bon Jovi song. Just, you know, different. Nothing wrong with that. We're all inspired by who we're inspired by, but it's just a little tidbit. Love Me Back to Life, I like a lot. You Had Me at Hello is a little goofy, but I still don't mind it. Bounce, the song, even though it sounds like It's My Life, and it does, if you know It's My Life, but you don't know the song Bounce, look up the song Bounce, and look at how similar it is. Like, they really just repeated themselves. If anybody else would have done that, I think they would have been sued. It's even in the same key. You know, bounce, bounce, bounce. But Bounce is a much better song. I love the song Bounce. That's a good song. So it's all right. There you go. Number 8. Number 7, Lost Highway. I didn't mind this. I didn't, you know, oh, we're going to make a country record. It wasn't. I didn't really see it. There were some fiddles here and there, but overall, the songwriting was still there, and the production was still mostly there. The Big and Rich thing pissed me off, because that's kind of awful, but you know what? They're trying something. I respect them for trying something, and that's fine. And it's a more lighthearted record, so I didn't mind that. I liked Lost Highway, Summertime. I didn't like You Want to Make a Memory. You Want to Make a Memory was like the single they released, and to me it was kind of plodding and draggy, and I didn't really care for You Want to Make a Memory. Whole Lot of Leaving Going On is cool. Any Other Day is cool. Seat Right Next to You, Everybody's Broken, Till We Ain't Strangers Anymore, The Last Night, One Step Closer. They're all pretty good. I really enjoyed this record, so if you can get past the fact that this is supposed to be a country record, and if you could just somehow magically erase We Got It Going On from this record, I think it's pretty good. So there you go. I like this record. I liked most of it, to be honest with you. So there you go. Number 7, Lost Highway. And now they're all solid from here on out. Number 6, Have a Nice Day. I enjoyed the crap out of this record. I was very happy that they made this, especially on the heels of these two, which I kind of see as the same record. This was more of a return to what I wanted them to do. It was much more rockin' than anything they'd done since 92, I think. I love the song Have a Nice Day. I Want to Be Loved was great. Welcome to Wherever You Are made me feel really good at the time. I was listening to the song going, yeah, like I'm good with my place in the world. You know, I like that song very much. Who Says You Can't Go Home is overplayed now, but I thought that was a good song. Last Man Standing, which they, you know, re-recorded for this record from this one. This one's a much more, like laid back, raw production. I actually like this one better. But Last Man Standing, awesome. And then I kind of lost it, but it's Last Cigarette is great. Complicated is great. Novocaine is great. This is a good record. So if you were listening to Bon Jovi and you got like, you know, everything up till 92, and then you kind of lost the plot with These Days and Crush and all that, and you didn't get this. I would say get this. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I thought it was solid. I liked it very much. That's why it broke my heart so much when 4 years later they put out the crap they started putting out. The only thing I didn't like about this is Have a Nice Day gave us that. This is where they started to want to dip into the Coldplay waters, because Have a Nice Day has that Coldplay beat. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Which is, confusion never stops. Closing walls and ticking clocks. It's just Coldplay. But I can't complain. I can't really bitch that much, because despite myself, I stole that beat for the first song on my record, Promise. Tonight Is Everything. I didn't want to do it. Tonight is everything. I'll give you anything. I didn't want to do it. I fought against it. I put in every other beat I could and listened to it, and it didn't work. I hated myself for doing the Coldplay beat in that song, but it works. I'm off track. Number 6, Have a Nice Day. Number 5, this is a great record. I love this record. We're to the point now when they're all going to be stellar albums, and I had to just... The margin now is so small between these records. Number 5, These Days. I love this record. These Days is really good. It's not what you'd expect. They knew they had to change their sound and their approach a little bit because it was 1995, but this is a beautiful, solid record. I love Letting You Go. Letting You Go is heartbreaking and just melts you inside. I don't know how you could... Letting You Go is gorgeous. While My Guitar Lies Bleeding in My Arms is awesome. It's not what you expect Bon Jovi to do. But loved it. Lie to Me is really beautiful. This Ain't a Love Song, Something for the Pain. Damned is really cool. This is the last record John Bon Jovi made before he lost his voice. I'm not complaining. I'm not knocking him. That's not a dig. It's not a burn. That is reality. He lost his voice. He lost some steps on it because he screamed his ass off for 20 years. For us. For me. For you. And that's what happens, man. People are really unforgiving of rock singers who lose their voice. It's not fair. I've said many times it's a muscle, and you don't expect an Olympic athlete who did things when they were 23 to still be able to do them when they're 43 and 53. So very few singers keep their voice. But this is great. I love While My Guitar Lies Bleeding in My Arms. If That's What It Takes is great. Diamond Rings. Hearts Breaking Even is a great song. By the way, almost all these also got to be on Amazon for $5. There's no way they're not at this point. But These Days, great record. First one without Alec John Such. Hugh McDonald played the bass on here. And by the way, Hugh McDonald, who's been playing bass for them for 23 years, is just now been named an official member of Bon Jovi. And I think that's dickish. That bugs me. He played on Runaway, didn't he? Whatever. All right. There you go. Number 5, These Days. Great record. Good for them for staying relevant in 1995. Number 4. Love this album. Keep the Faith. Keep the Faith came out when I was in high school also. Came out like the same time Adrenalize came out pretty much. And I adore this record. One of my favorite Bon Jovi songs of all time, and I don't know why, is I Want You. I Want You, which nobody's heard. And it's a very simple chord progression. I don't know why it gets to me, but it really does. I love I Want You. But this record, all the way through, I love this album. I Believe, Keep the Faith. I love every song on here except I don't really like Woman in Love, and a little bit of Soul is okay. But man, Blame It on Love. I remember I went to Six Flags, and they were around this time, and they were playing Blame It on Love of Rock and Roll on a stereo system at Six Flags. Going, oh yeah, man, Bon Jovi. Awesome. Bed of Roses. Did anybody else see the MTV Unplugged thing that they did when this record came out? And that's the first time I heard Bed of Roses. And I was like, oh man, that's a great song. Bed of Roses is a wonderful song. I love If I Was Your Mother. If I Was Your Mother. Oh yeah, man. Dry County. Awesome 10-minute song. Very ambitious for John Bon Jovi. This is where John Bon Jovi started writing songs on his own. Like, never before had so many songs been written solely by John Bon Jovi. I think he wrote like 6 or 7 of these alone. So he's starting to... this is after they did the Blaze of Glory. He did the Blaze of Glory thing also. So I love all In These Arms is a great, that was a single, right? But that's a great song. I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. This is a great record. If you love Bon Jovi and you love the classic Bon Jovi sound, you don't have this, get this, all right? This album came out when I was 16 and it got inside me and I listened to it over and over and over again. I love it. I sang all these songs. Yeah, great solo. By the way, while we're talking about it, Richie Sambora, before we go any further, one of the greatest lead guitar players ever of this kind of music. He is super melodic. He really is a great lead guitar player in serving the song, and he's got some great, great leads. Richie Sambora has been vastly underrated as a guitar player, as a singer, as a songwriter. John Bon Jovi gets all the attention because he's a pretty boy and he's out front, and he is a spokesperson for the band, but Richie Sambora, one of the greatest lead players ever. Really, really, really good. So there you go. Number 4, Keep the Faith. Beautiful record. Love this record. Number 3, I'm sure you guys all figured out what number 3 is already. Number 3 is the debut, self-titled. This is a great record. The only song I don't like is the cover, She Don't Know Me. But other than that, what a great album. Like, it's a great record. I know that a lot of people think this is subpar, and that's fine, all right? But I love this record. I love Roulette. I love Shot Through the Heart. I thought that's great. Shot Through the Heart is a song on here, and people, whatever. Love Lies is great. Break Eye is great. Burning for Love. Burning for Love. Burning Desire. Love it. Come Back is a great song. Get Ready is a great song. This is all great. Once again, just like I said about Keep the Faith, if you love Bon Jovi, I would get the debut. It's a little keyboard heavy and the production is a hair dated, but it's really good. The songwriting is there. It's very solid stuff, and it's a band, who's hungry. And I thought it was a great debut. As a debut album, this is very, very solid. I don't know what else to say about it. If you don't have this, you should get it. If you love Bon Jovi, it drips of everything that Bon Jovi is. Keyboards, big choruses. It's a great record. Number 3, love it. I used to play drums to this over and over and over again. Again, also, Tico Torres is a great drummer. People never talk about him. He's not flashy and technical, but he's solid. He is a solid, solid drummer who just fills in those rock songs with, there's no gaps. He is on it. Tico Torres, great drummer. So there you go. Number 3, Bon Jovi, the debut. This now brings us to the last 2. Much like Def Leppard, both these records were their 3rd and 4th records, and they're neck and neck. This is the pinnacle of what they do. So you'll know when I show you my number 2 what my number 1 is. I think I don't like She Don't Know Me because it's a cover, Graham. I think that's why I don't like it. I think it takes me out of it. I think it's unnecessary. I don't know. That might be it. I don't hate it. It's a cover, All right, my number 2. And this was hard. I went back and forth, but I have my reasons. Because I love every song on both of these records. Number 2, Slippery and Wet. Number 2, everything you know about Bon Jovi is pretty much on this record. This, again, just like Pyromania, groundbreaking. 1,000 other bands try to just make this record. Sorry, Monty. I know. You're one of the people I was talking about. I'm sorry. Perfect. Bruce Fairbairn. I never know how to say his name because I've heard it pronounced different ways. Bruce Fairbairn, whatever. Produced this. Bob Rock is on board. Everything came into play on this for me. Everything came together. The songwriting, the production. It's a 3rd record, so they know how to behave in the studio. Everything about this record is perfect. I love every one of these songs. They're all arranged, produced, performed wonderfully. This has got to be $5 on Amazon. If you love anything that you ever heard by Bon Jovi, listen to the album cuts, because the album cuts on this are every bit as good as the hits. I like Social Disease. I know nobody likes Social. Raise Your Hands is great. Without Love should have been a single. Never Say Goodbye is so great. Oh, God. Wild in the Streets is so great. This whole record, there's nothing I can say about Slippery and Wet that you haven't already heard yourself or hasn't already been said. So I love this record. Everything about it is great. That's all I really can say. All I'm just going to do is gush and gush and gush. Tell you that I can tell you the album cover is was a last minute thing because Bon Jovi hated the album cover that they were given. And this is seriously water on a Glad trash bag. And John Bon Jovi wrote Slippery and Wet on a Glad trash bag, so they had a different cover than the one they were going to use, which was a girl with pink nail polish and shit like that. Look it up. It's a thing. So, yeah, love this record. Listen to it over and over and over and over and over again when I was a kid. Played drums to it over and over and over. I know everything about that record. Love it. So here we go. Number 1, and you all know what it is. New Jersey. Yes. It's every bit as good as Slippery. It's just better just because there's more here. There's just simply more available here. Instead of 10 songs, we got 12. Or I guess, yeah. And they're all good. Or 11. I don't know if we really count Ride Cowboy Ride. But this is a band, again, just duplicating the same thing they did and with even more confidence, even bigger production. And I love everything about it. I read an interview where they said that they wanted to get right back in the studio and get right back at it, and they regret that they should have went back and enjoyed the success of this a little bit longer. Because this was 86, this is 88. I mean, they went right back to it. But God, this is so good. I love Homebound Train. Isn't Homebound Train just a killer song? Stick to Your Guns is a great song. I love Stick to Your Guns. 99 in the Shade, I'll Be There For You, Born to Be My Baby, which admittedly is, You Give Love a Bad Name Part 2. Blood on Blood. How cool is Blood on Blood? Like, again, produced and engineered by the same people. They just did the same thing. Got the same team together, did the same thing, but made it even better. This is a great, great record. So I highly recommend, if you love Bon Jovi, just get it, all right? This is the best record. This is the pinnacle of what they did. This is when they reached it, their 4th record. Everything that Bon Jovi was about, if you're going to get one record, this is it. And again, they get to go and they get to do whatever they want to do after this. And I love Bon Jovi to death for everything that they for giving me these 5 records. By the way, I got the remasters of those also. The remasters of those 5, my top 5. But I love Bon Jovi. I love them so much. That's why it's so heartbreaking. The Circle on, I can't listen to it, and I hate because I want to support them. I want to give my money. I really want to, but I just listen to it and I go, I can't. I feel like betrayed almost. I mean, I know it's stupid, but I take music very seriously. But I mean, it's almost like somebody that cheated on me, and it's like I don't even want to see you again ever because it hurts to see you. Like don't make a new record. Just go away. just go away. Don't taint how I see you with all this. Oh, God. Anyway, I've never seen Bon Jovi live, and I never will. I wanted to see them when I was a kid, but we didn't. I think they sold out, and I'm not going to go now. Seeing Bon Jovi without Richie Sambora, I mean, it's no point. It's like, I'm sorry, and I'm not saying they shouldn't continue. They can do whatever they want, but it's like Aerosmith without Joe Perry. It's like Led Zeppelin without Jimmy Page. It's like Bon Jovi without Richie Sambora. So, no. Richie Sambora, phenomenal. God, his records are good too. All right, so that's it. There you go. I hope it didn't offend any of you. There's this weird thing, really, where people that love 70, 100 Degrees Fahrenheit love High and Dry, and it's the same people that love those 2 records, generally. And I just always go, hey, I'm sorry. So there you go. There's no, Graham, sorry, that would get in the way too. I'm just going with the band. Because if I get into that territory, doing like the offshoots, then when I do Night Ranger, I got to do their offshoots. If I did Journey, I got to do all theirs. No. Bon Jovi records. That's all we're doing. So there you go. Hope it didn't offend any of you too much. I love both these bands. They were a big, big part of me. And I'll be listening to this stuff when I'm 80. But there you go. I thought the countdown would make things more fun. All right, we got I got 9 more bands to go after this. I'm very, very close to the end here, so I'm probably going to rank all the rest of them just because I think it's more fun. And I think that's it. Real quickly, I'm going to pitch my site. There you go. Oh, wait, there you go. By the way, just for fun, just so you know, the camera does everything backwards. See, you know how it does everything backwards? Like you can't see it because it's backwards. So when I drew these things up, I had to write these backwards. So these are actually written backwards so you guys can make them out, which was not easy to do. That's why this looks like a kid wrote it, because I wrote these backwards. Yeah, there you go. All right. How long did I talk? 45 minutes. Holy balls. I'm going to go now. I love you guys all very much. Thanks for watching. I hope it didn't offend any of you. I won't be able to do this again for like at least a week. I do this on my days off so I don't ruin my voice. And I don't, you know, so everybody have a good Thanksgiving. And remember, calories don't count on Thanksgiving. So go for it and enjoy yourself. All right? I got a few more of these left and then I'll be done. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope I didn't piss anyone off. Oh, real quickly, go buy some of this stuff, guys. If you don't have it, get it. Support the bands. Get my top 3, top 4, Def Leppard and Bon Jovi if you don't have them. It's great stuff. All right? I'll get it for you. No, I won't.